right, guys, mandatory is finito. And there were a lot of storylines. And I wanted to get this out yesterday, but I've been working at Twitter. And if you don't handle Twitter right, it can really suck your soul. I had a soul-sucking experience, and I didn't get it out. So I'm going to get it out today. I'm going to give you my top 10. I'm not saying it's all the big storylines. But number one, I think, is very, very big, and it ties into things I've been saying a long time. There's good, there's bad, there's unknowns. I wrote an article on finsnews.com about this. I'm going to expand on it here. But guys, this is a data point, and it's kind of like a faded data point. You really can't put too much stock on it. Obviously, training camp, it gets more tangible. Preseason games, and then obviously season, it becomes, boom, bright, solid for us to do our evaluations. So I'm going to go over the top 10. I'm not going to get too deep into all of them because this thing could go on for a while, but I'm going to probably fixate on a couple of them. So let me know in the comments if stuff I missed. I know I missed stuff, and I'm sure the order is not totally right or whatever. But this was a pretty sizable, as far as juicy storyline, so I thought it was interesting. Now, guys, going to be on with TD 7 p.m. Monday. Still not sure if it's a recording or if it's going to be live. I know TD, he does a lot of live, so I'm assuming it's going to be live. I'll get you that information as soon as I get it. But guys, the Twitter thing is good and bad. Before I get into this part, I want to talk about this. Some people are like, don't talk TD because TD whatever, or don't talk to this guy or whatever. I'm sure people are saying that about me. But you always can learn. And TD was responding to a Doug Lee Do-Wrong Twitter thing saying that some channel unknown, don't know who it is, not really too concerned. But they would like basically spent a large portion of their live talking about how bad Doug Lee Do-Wrong is. And I think it's ridiculous, especially for him. I call him the Johnny Carson because I don't understand how you might disagree with the guy, but how can you not like him and spend that much time? And then TD had said something, and it was almost like a moment of epiphany because it was tied into this soul drain thing on Twitter. And he said, the more people hate you, the closer the better you're doing, because that's a sign of success. And that really bothers me. I really thought that truth and being a good guy, you could get a kumbaya moment. And you might be able to get close to that with the fan base. I think Doug Lee does that. But there is so many personalities in this content providing business, and not all of them mean the best for you. And so it clicked for me that I might want kumbaya, but really this is Mortal Kombat to some people. So that point being is I've got to learn to be smarter. And part of that is, as you guys have been yelling at me, promote yourself. So please check me out Monday night on TD's show, and then with Steve Malloy and Greg Main on Tuesday. That'll be 6:45 Central Time. But don't ever be, there's an old Pearl Jam line, if you don't like something, don't do it too, because it's not for you. Please be cordial. Let people live in hate. It's not good. And really, it's easier, I said to Jason Sarney, it's easier to tear things down than to build it up. And weak people, like water, flow to the former, to tearing things down. Be strong. You could criticize people. Sometimes you lose your temper or get, frustrated. But it's sports talk. Let's please keep it cordial. And you can learn from everybody. Anyway, there we go. That's my soapbox. I'm getting off it. So please like, subscribe, comment, and view all that stuff. Keeps my sponsors happy. Trying to keep some of you very good people, very good friends, helping me to understand this business. I'm not a business guy. I try not to sell. It makes me feel weird. But thank you for being my friends and helping me do that, because it's a reality. So thank you. So please like, subscribe, and all that stuff. And if you have, and you are, I thank you very, very much. Anyway, so top 10. I was going to do some graphics here. Maybe I'll put it in. Maybe I'll not. Saturday, kids and wife want to hang out, so I don't think so. But anyway, 10. Jonnu Smith holding out. Look, the trade of Jonnu Smith will restrict us this season. But, guys, if you get a good pick, the future will be brighter. He won't be around with us long. And maybe we're moving to a more physical style. You got Hill, you got Waddle, you got Westbrook, you got Washington, you got H.N. There's only so much you can spread this thing around. And I think it would be good if we trade him. Now, the problem is, what if we don't trade him and we don't give him a contract? How will he respond? Injuries still lingering. This, we just don't know. You got Phillips coming back from 2 years of injuries. When will he be back? When will he be 100%? James Daniels, not practicing mandatory, not the end of the world, but I'm wondering how long it will be to get this guy 100%. He's in the pit in the offensive line, and it could really injure him, slow down his long-term trend towards 100%. So maybe we got to see how this plays out. But it's a big one. Austin Jackson. He was out of mandatory because he was injured, but not the injury on the knee. Jackson is an unbelievable guy. We all know the story with his sister. I think the guy works really hard, but I don't think he plays very well. He's been very, very injured. People make fun of Tehran, but he's been out more than Tehran. And now he's got another thing. Big piece of the puzzle. He goes down. What do? All of a sudden, you got to maybe move Savaianaya out to the right side, and it becomes a mess. We are very thin, and that is a big deal. Now, Sela is having a sit-in. I don't think, knowing him, it will be a big deal this season. I don't think he's going to hold out, but you never know. But I think next year, if they don't get the deal, could start to become sour grapes, and maybe Sela starts being more for himself, saying, hey, you're not taking care of me. But maybe they take care of him. That's going to be an interesting storyline. Will he have a sit-in come camp? Will he just play along? Or will he sit out? That's a big story. We need him. He's the heart of this defense. There's no way around it. I think he's played for, peanuts, $12 million for that kind of production. If anybody has the right to ask for more money, it's clearly him. Brandon Chubb looks 100%. Brandon Chubb's going to tie into a later one, but his health is a big deal. When you look at the structure, the skill set, him on the edge, on the strong side, allows Chop to play the back end and not have his run defense be so critical. I think he's going to get better. It's clearly the weakest part of his skill set. Chubb is very good at it. We need him to start off, especially again with Phillips being in the background and not certain about his health. So this is a big deal. He looks 100%. Is he really 100%? Maybe he's 98. I don't think with all these injuries he's going to be 100% of what he was, but if he's close and it's early, big piece of the puzzle. Kenneth Grant has been nothing but a positive. I think this kid's going to be very good. Now, fairly, this defensive front got a lot of noise about being very good, but you are missing Daniels, you are missing Jackson, you've got a poor depth group. Savaianaya is playing left side. He's a rookie. Paul's still young. And so it does add context to why they were so dominant. But there has been zero knocks on this kid. I think this kid's going to be a very good pick. Maybe you could have got a little bit better or something in another position or whatever. But really where we're sitting, this kid is a very good pick. Maybe not the best, but a very good pick. And if this kid keeps trending in his direction, he could be phenomenal for us, guys. That big, with that kind of movement skills, and if he builds the body up, this kid could be a wrecker. So that's big news. Now, obviously, I talked about, I'm not going to go too much, but I put 5. I think I was supposed to be doing the numbers here. 5. Patrick Paul and Savaianaya looking good together in the run game. Some people talk about outside zone is really what it's about. I still think inside zone. It's just my eval. We'll see what the vision, the philosophy of McDaniel is and how it plays on the field. I still think inside zone is important. I think the cutback, which kind of plays into that a little bit, the interior attack is important, but this is great news. Now, obviously, we know about him flipping to the left side. We don't know why. Maybe Daniels is slow to roll. You don't want Eichenberg over there. Maybe they've got a plan in the backdrop. I think Eric Smith was talking about, well, this kind of plays into some of the designs that they want as far as the outside zone. Savai and I are getting to the second level. Makes sense. We'll see. It's a big move, and it will play out big in our E-value of this staff. Now, Zach Wilson, a lot of people were even saying maybe he'll take over for Tua. He's kind of what we saw him being, slow on delivery, not so hot in the reads. We spend a lot of money. He's got to get better. They're even talking about trading him to Cleveland. So we need a backup quarterback. However you slice it, Tua's got the long history. Like him or not, it's a fair. And you invested in this kid. You know, you got Ewers in the background, depending on how well he plays. But do I want him starting this season? Is it best for him? Is it best for us? Zach Wilson is a big investment. Both McDaniel's credit, because he said he wanted him so bad and wanted to work with him, but he's not playing so well. So we'll see come camp. He's got time. Tua coming to the epiphany of his injury problems. We all know it. He talked about it, how he wanted to prove his toughness. And he's very clear on it. We're clear on it. But what happens when the bullets fire? I don't think the kid's a coward. You could say you don't like him. You could say he's not a good quarterback. You could say fairly he's got injury history. But the kid's tough as nails. He wants to be. He's a warrior. Comes from a warrior culture. So there is a good side to wanting to do that. If you've played football, you want to show your strength and your toughness. It's just installed in you. But the wisdom, especially at the quarterback position, especially of these injuries, is big. Is it, it's great to hear now, but when those bullets fire, will he make the right decisions? Obviously huge for his career, for this season, for this regime. So we'll see. Now, the big second, number 2, Finns are a team, we're told. And this is big. I don't think we could be a full team because we still haven't got rid of Ramsey. We got to see what happens to Jonnu. We still got Hill. He's too big a piece and he's too much of a narcissist. But we're told now that they're a team. And guys, if it's true, that takes a lot of stuff in the backdrop leading up to the games. And it's not going to flip the script, but it's clearly going to help us out a ton if true. But unfortunately, Brandon Chubb, I think he was 7, is back at 1. This is huge. I've been talking about it since 2021 when I called us a den of snakes. I said suit hustle. I don't understand some people who can't buy into it now. People told me for a long time, it's no different. Well, Chubb said, we lied to you about last season about us being a team. And they lied to us about feeling comfortable up at the offensive line. They've lied to us so much. They're liars. Now, part of it is you got to expect them to lie. They're not going to show you all the cards and tell you everything, but there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. And this is not the way to do it. They lie to us. They're cool telling us they lied about it. They could have just said, we believed it. They could have easily said, we believed it, but ultimately it didn't pan out that way. But they said they lied. Chubb said we lied. There's no pushback on it. It's got to be. Suit hustle. This build from a psychology standpoint is very business. It's very optics driven. It's not as warrior based as it needs. And so, were they lying last season? Yeah. Are they lying this season? We don't know. And when they tell us things and people come running out of the gates telling you, well, they said this, they lie. Suit hustle is clearly defined in many data points, but this is another big one. And so the fact that you have somebody who you give your money to support this franchise, and they're so willing to be dubious and deceitful, it's disheartening. I mean, at some level, as I said, it's expected, but this is so beyond the pale. It's annoying. And it goes back to weak people. Weak people have hard time handling the truth and being truthful. And it just, to me, is another sign of the weakness. And it makes me more doubtful that McDaniel's going to be able to pull this thing together, because we're in year 4, and things like showing up to practice, being truthful, being tough, and it's like we learned it in year 4. So that's it. I'm not going to kill them over it. Maybe they change. People could change. Teams can change. But this, to me, is the number one story, and it's the number one reason why I've tried to cover the way I have, to show you guys that the seat in the background, this is why good evaluations and listening to other people that maybe you don't agree with is going to set you up to kind of see this team for where it really is, because they lie. So that's my wrap up. What do you think? Have a great weekend, guys. Let me know what I missed. I'm sure I missed some stuff. But that's it. Hope you guys have a phenomenal weekend. Curtis saying, be well, go Fins. Curtis out. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.